Hey guys, it's Carl, sir. I'm finally following through with something that we've been talking about. I've had a lot of people tell me that they'd really be interested in me putting out some arena videos. I'm gonna do RTA next, but I'm gonna do regular arena this time. I might do a couple RTAs like at the end of this video or something, but I'm gonna try and demonstrate a couple of things, not just one thing. One of them is my Lucian team. This is sort of a different Lucian team, but it's not very different. My big difference is I drew Frigate, right? And this is how fast my Frigate is, but really it's about the base speed. The base speed's 108. That's one of the fastest boosters in the game. Like 108 is not the fastest, but it's one. It's really high up there. So it's a good monster to be able to push higher. Also, his boost, whoop, is his boost is 50. Oh, dang it. His boost is 50. Don't look at those. Those are just those are private. Okay, don't rewind this and go look at those. Bad people. I know you're doing it right now, but don't do it. Nope. Nope. All right. Nah, so Frigate is a 50% boost, and that's part of the reason that I use him. So a faster booster, for instance, would be Bernard. Bernard has 3 base speed on him, if I remember right. Uh, so it is a little bit. I do get cut by Bernard sometime because they have that slight base speed advantage. And to be honest, when whoever gets the first turn can literally come down to 1 speed, that 3 speed advantage can actually make the difference. Like, that may not sound like much, but that could be all of the difference in the game. But Frigate allows me to make my other characters a whole lot slower because Bernard only does a 30% boost, Frigate does a 50%. So 50% of his combined speed is added to their speed, and then from there it just has to outspeed all my opponents to get a turn and not get cut. That may sound a little complicated, but it's really not. We're going to go ahead. I'm going to show you. I'm just going to push through a few hits with this team, and I'll show you some of the things that you'll encounter that are kind of problematic, and some of them that look problematic but really aren't. For instance, this team. This is a perfect team to come up against for this video, for the first shot, because at first look, you see there's 2 fire monsters, right? And obviously when you're using your Lucians, it's great that they ignore defense, but they have a chance, just like all other wind monsters, of glancing on fire units. A glanced hit will do significantly less damage. It's like 30% or something. I mean, it's way less. I think what it is actually, it can't crit and it does half of a normal damage or something like that. I don't know. We'll try to do the math when we get into this video. So usually you'd say, okay, 2 fire monsters, I have to switch off of this. I can't use my Lucian combo. Well, that's sort of true. It's sort of correct. If this team was in like low C1, high F3, I might. Nah, even then I probably would. Here's why. Because an XF, right, the Xiongfei that they've got going on, is just gonna die. It's a defense monster and not an HP monster. So even though it's got a defense lead and a lot of defense and it's a fire monster, it's not going to have a ton of HP. It's going to have a ton of defense. And since you ignore defense either way, it's still going to be easy to just crumple him down. And both the other people on that team are going to get wrecked by the Lucians. I mean, I'm going to walk right through all 3 of those monsters. So from there, it's my full team against a single Perna. And most double Lucian combos that happen like this, they're going to pop Perna's passive, right? The first one probably won't, but might. Right, see, I don't pop her passive, but the second one is going to pop her passive. So now I only have to worry about her attack bar one time. Now, we go back to why I prefer Frigate over Bernard as well. If you have Frigate, of course. If you don't have Frigate, Bernard can work fine, and you'll use his S2 in this case as well. I like it because of his S2. So I'm down with this Perna. Perna does a lot of damage. She actually can one-shot my squishies here, especially my wins, and that's the first unit she'll go for because of the AI. So I want to try to stun her, okay? His S2 shoots 3 rounds, and each one has a 75% chance of stunning her. So most likely she gets stunned, bam, loses her turn. And then from here, you just go ahead and whittle her down. Defense break lands, that's almost a guarantee to end it right there. See? So, and that's basically how it'll go every time. Even if she hadn't been stunned, unless she's a Vio Perna with a ton of damage, she's not going to kill my whole team. So, okay, now we're going to talk another team onto the non-fire and onto the regular. So, Poseidon is the only real threat here, in my opinion. and it's just because of what he does. He attacks all the enemies, damage proportionate to his speed. Here's the part that matters. Decreases their attack bar to 0. So if he gets first turn, most likely we'll lose. Well, not a guarantee we'll lose, but certainly between Poseidon and his Aegir, we'll barely get any turns. So it'll be really hard to get turns at all. But if you look at the base speed of Poseidon, it's only 101. And I'm pretty confident in my frigate, especially where I am right now in low fighter, because I'm not doing arena this week except for this video. A few every day just to get the cover the Devilmon purchase. But outside that, I'm taking a week off because I've been doing 61 wins a day for 10 weeks straight, and I've decided every 10 weeks I'll give myself a single week off if I want. And right now I'm like, yes, I'm so tired of arena. Honestly, that's why I've been putting off this video. That's one of two reasons. I won't go into the second yet. I'll go into that later. But it's just because I'm so done with it. So as long as I get first turn, we win. Now, I'm confident my frigate will get first turn, partially because his speed has a base 7 higher than my opponent, right? That's a good amount. That's a really good amount. His is only 101. So I feel pretty confident, but also it's because he's fighter and I'm struggling to get C1. So I know for a fact that I can beat this fighter one team and I'll outspeed him. But let's pretend I didn't for a second. This is going to tell you what I would do if I didn't feel like I could outspeed him, right? What you can do is drop Megan and go and just add a speed lead monster. Like, I use Tableau. Tableau is mine. If you don't have Tableau, feel free to use another 24. Shimite is a good one. Obviously, if you have a 33 speed, that's even better. Especially Pasama. That would be a huge... for this specific sort of circumstance, that would be a great monster to have. Because even if you end up where they kill him by CCing him to death, he comes back and does his revenge strike and almost kills all of them. Because you're going to be way stronger than him. So this is what I would do. Now, the problem here, obviously, is that now we're not going to have an attack buff. There's a fix for that as well. Bastet. This is where Bastet comes into play. She is one of my favorite boosters as well, but there's a couple of problems with her compared to Frigate. One of them is her base speed. Her base speed is 99. His base speed is 108. And like I said, remember that a single speed determines who goes first. So my combined is 286. If his combined is 285, that may mean I win this entire match because I have him by 1 speed. So 9 speed difference is significantly different, right? So this is going to be sort of a thing where it's like, is it worth it? Now, I again feel confident in outspeeding him even with my Bastet, so I'm going to go ahead and make the trade. But what you have to do when you use this team is you have to decide which one... you have to really, it's not about deciding it, you just have to do it. You have to do the game, you have to try it out, you have to figure out, okay, where I am in fighter. Would Bastet usually win the match, or win the speed match? Also, does her boost do enough? And this is her second problem. Her boost is only 25%, as to where Frigate's is 50%. Now, I'll show you the speed on my Lucians, and you can kind of decide for yourself. I have low speed Lucians, both plus 45 and 47, right? So... not super fast. These are slow monsters. And remember, the way it works basically is that they have their combined speed plus half of Bastet's has to outspeed this Poseidon. And if they don't, Poseidon will cut you, make all of their attack bars 0 most likely because his S3 is part of his AI. He uses S3 like all the freaking time. His AI is pretty decent on defense. He uses S3 a lot. I only see him, mess it up every here and there, derp here and there. So, at this low level, I do feel confident that my Bastet can do it. However, if I was in Fighter 3, and this is why I'm going to go ahead and do this anyway. If I was in Fighter 3, I would say, no, my Lucians are too slow. Bastet will not give them enough speed no matter what. So, I'm going to go without an attack boost whatsoever. Part of the reason I'm doing this is because 3 of the enemies are water. So they'll get a 15% crit rate boost, and both of them hang in the 80s on crit rate. So every single attack that the three of them, or that the two of them do, should be crits. I mean, with very few, there should maybe one that doesn't crit. And this is one of the reasons I like Tableau, by the way. You put him in for his S2, not his S3. I mean, you can use his S3, but for this, we're not. This is a sort of a unique usage of him. I've actually had lots of people be like, that's not how you use him, and they're sort of kind of correct. But the thing is, I found sort of a niche way to work him into my teams, especially my slower teams, right? So if he was on a faster team, yeah, you'd use him differently. But on a slower team, this is how I use him, and it works. You throw his S2, you hope he gets a 7 or above because that means stun, and then everything that doesn't have a will rune, boom, stunned. So now even if Poseidon did cut me somehow, like it's not going to, you can see his bar, but even if he did, it wouldn't matter because their whole team might get to go, but they're all stunned. So unless they have Vio, they're not going to get to go anyway. And Galleon and, well, Galleon's not usually built on Vio. Fran, I see probably like half of them on Vio. Aegir very likely is on Vio, but not a guarantee or anything, so there's a few ways you can build him. Poseidon, I don't think will be on Vio at all. He'll be on Swift or whatever, probably. Swift will, if I had to guess, but, you know. So from here, we just cleanse them down. Bye-bye, guys. I said cleanse, but really I meant cleave. Just, you know, AoE nuke. I mean, the Lucians can do a ton of damage. They just permanent crit because they're all blue. Walk right through and on to the next team. Now, this will be fun. Here we go. This is where this team starts to lose its 100% win rate. And we run into a unique problem. So usually Pasama would be the lead here. Probably they switched it out just because they're trying to have a farming defense. I'll show you what that means. You see the defense that I have right now? I'm trying to hold my rank in the low F1, so I made a defense of, you know, 4 strong monsters. But I don't want to, like, have a whole bunch of defense wins, so I didn't include like a really good team. This is not my main defense team. This is just a defense team. So a lot of low fighter 1 players will have a hard time winning against this. Before I changed to this team, I had about a 20% defense rate win. Now it's got 12, so it lost a whole bunch. And this is what I want. I want it losing a few and winning a couple. You can see my previous weeks and my best ranks and all that. Look at the win rate there, or the defense win rate. It's low as crap. Why? Why is it so low? It's so low because those are defense where all week long, Monday to Friday-ish, I set a 1 monster defense, right? Delete all 3 of these guys and just run him. Just run Elad. Why? Because I want them to win so that my rank will constantly be getting lowered, and that way I can fight in fighter 61 wins a day very easily because they're knocking me down as fast as I'm going up, or nearly as fast. So you fight it up, you do 30 at a time, you get up to fighter 3, you stop, you let them back you back down to fighter 1, and you do the next 30. That's basically how it ends up having to go if you want to do that many wins a day. I don't suggest it because it is a grind hell. Yeah, so yeah. So usually Pasama would be the lead here, and that's why I would use Ludo or Tableau. We are going to go ahead and use Tableau here anyway, but this is why. So Frigate has a base of 108. Whoops. 108, like I've already shown, right? A very fast monster, but this is a non-ATB monster with a higher speed, but, again, it may be a non-ATB, but her S3 kind of ruins everything, right? So if she gets first turn, if she cuts me at all, she makes all of her team invincible, and then I'm just sitting there like, well, great. She also gives them immunity, so they can't be messed up. You know, I can't even, like, stun them with my Tableau. So I'm going to go ahead and run Tableau to make sure I outspeed her. I feel confident at this level, again, that my monsters will cleave right through them. Why? Because they're level 35. Honestly, if they weren't level 35, I would at least be like, maybe, and maybe I would use Bastet. But in this case, I'm not worried at all. I don't even care if they're all on Will or something. Yeah, they're not on Will. There's some shield runes. I got a double, and this is what we're going to do. I want to kill Plasama with one of my first Tableau throws, or with one of my first Lucian throws. But it's more important to kill everyone else, because if he's the only one alive, then it doesn't matter, we can win. Crap. And this is what I was kind of worried about. If you break his, let's see if he's on Despair. I've seen this a bit. Okay, he's not on Despair. sometimes they'll put him on despair, and when he does his rageful revenge, it kills like, or it stuns half your team and nearly kills you. So you're just like, oh yeah, that's fun. I'm almost dead and stunned. Yay! All right, so this basically went how we would want it to go, with the exception of I would have kind of liked to killed him, differently, but it worked out in the end. Mostly because we were taking the risk of if he was on despair, he would have made it kind of hard for us to win. I'm only going to take this fight because I want to go up a little higher so we can talk about Fighter 3 things and not just low fighter. Remember, like I said, a lot of this is low fighter stuff that we're talking about, not high fighter. So if you're trying to get Fighter 3 and you're fighting for C1, you've got to remember that picking your monsters is about knowing your monsters and knowing your enemies, right? You need to know how fast are they? Does this monster get cut? Does this team get cut? Can I use this speed this time? Stuff like that. You've got to pay attention to that sort of thing, and that's really what gets you the wins. It's being really in tune with your team. Now, this isn't... Oh, man. I'm really looking for an opportunity. Let's see if I can find one up at the higher. Okay, if you go further down, it brings up higher monsters. So, let's see if we can find... Yeah, let's use this. Okay, this will work. So, there is a variation that I use of this team, right? And it's very simple. I'll take out one of my Lucians, whatever, I don't remember. I don't remember how you're actually supposed to say it, so, that thing. And I'll throw in Zeros. Why? Because Zeros' S3 resets the skill cooldown on every monster it hits. Obviously, accuracy and resistance come into play, but it does it to all four of them, minus resistance and immunity. Now, with Praha, I really like to use this on her because there's an interesting mechanic that I can bring up right now, and this is what I was looking for, a nice Praha defense to show you. The glancing will happen with the damage, right? So if he uses his S3 and she doesn't have immunity, right? Let's just go ahead and into this match and see if I can get a good opportunity to show you or not. I may end up having to use a speed lead, and if I do, that's fine. This is a higher rank, and I didn't really look how closely it was, but I have a bit of a feeling I'm going to get the speed on this one. Oh, no, his Chloe was too fast for me. Okay, so we can't do it right now because they have immunity. So let's just... I'll tell you what, let's just back out and go get a better speed and then outspeed her, because this is going to be a silly thing to show you otherwise. Alright, let's go. Let's do this. Come on. Alright, so... Oh, no, not that one. Yeah, that was it. Alright, we're going to go ahead with this team instead of the regular team. I'm going to use my frigate to ensure that we get first turn. And basically, this takes out the attack buff on your team, which is not great. You don't want to sacrifice the attack buff very often. But I know that this team can do it, right? I know I can with this team as long as I get first turn, so I'm not worried. Okay, I'll show you after this fight, but my Zeros is not as slow as the Lucians are. He's more like plus 80-something, if I remember right. I'm not sure. I re-runed him this last free rune removal, so I'm not 100%. But this is what we go for. We want first turn, so we use the big boost. Alright, now we try to stun everybody. That's perfect scenario. Okay, dang it! And this is why. If I had stunned Chloe, then she wouldn't have been able to cut us and do that. But I stunned the other two, so they're not going to get first turn, so we just sit here and wait till one of them goes. Okay, she goes, he goes, great. There's a couple. We need their immunity to wear off, though, so... Let's go ahead and use Tableaus. No, well, that was a bad choice, but this is how you learn. We make mistakes. Alright, let's go. Yeah, I can't use his S3 yet, so let's just use his S2, drop some damage. We do not want to get Praha below... Okay, that works. Usually Praha won't use her S3 unless she's... unless someone on the team is below, like, 60%. So I was really shocked to see that, actually. Huh, that's why I was holding off damage, waiting to not spark her S3, which kind of ruins the point of what I was trying to show you in this team, and they're, hard CCing Zeros, so it's like, never mind, I guess. I just want him to have a turn. I don't even care about winning. Come on. Alright, well, we lost that match, and I guess we'll just have to go find... I don't know what was up. That team beat me, and I'm really shocked. I honestly really am. Like, I did not see that coming. So props to that person and their defense. It kind of wrecked me. Alright, let's use a Plasama as an example, I guess. So... What I was going to say about Zeros before I got shocked by a massive defeat was There's a couple of things that don't glance. Okay, so the damage from his S3 can glance, right? Great, we landed a stun. So the damage from his S3 can glance. So the damage might not be very good because he's attacking a water monster, which is his weakness. However, something that puts the skill on cooldown like this, that part of it cannot glance. It can be resisted. It can be resisted and stopped in that fashion, but that does not glance. So it doesn't matter that I'm a fire doing it to a water if what I'm looking for is to use the skill cooldown and not necessarily the damage. Obviously the damage will be nice, but even if the attack glances, which we don't know if it did there or not, it did moderate damage, so, but you saw it said increased cooldown. That cannot glance. So now we can just walk away and walk him down. The reason I was trying to show you this on Praha, though, is because if you don't have her on Will Nemesis, which a lot of people seem to have, Will Nemesis or Will Swift, or Nemesis is one of the best in my opinion because it really allows you to just, tack them down. Yeah, I'm not worried about this team, so I'll show you one of the better teams again. All right, now we can show you Bastet because there are no boosters on their team, so I'm really not worried about them outspeeding me. And this is part of the reason both my Zeros and my Tableau are on Despair and not like a Rage Will combo or something like that. It's because they both get a decent speed and they get to go first. Hopefully they stun some people and then cooldown reduce some people, especially since cooldown reduce can't glance, right? And then that's it. So even if they had cut me, all she'd be able to do is use her basic attack and I'd walk right through them. This is good because we can just grow a little on the scale and come back. I'll probably have to do a secondary video where I show you guys a higher elo sort of stuff, a higher elo, that's from League, my bad. Higher like Fighter 3. So I'll climb up to Fighter 3 today, do another video either today or tomorrow, and probably call it good. But here are basically how you would work out a couple of teams, when you would work them, when you would do what. The thing is, that whole when part of it is sort of something you've got to figure out. Like this team, right? There were 3 monsters that I knew I could walk right through, and then 1 XF. XF is not a big threat, especially if he's by himself. Fang is a threat, but I knew my Lucians could, especially a double Lucian combo, or Tushin, as some people call it, I knew they could walk right through, so I wasn't worried. Whoops, wrong person. So like in this case, when a Pasama comes up, even though it's a solo monster, I'll switch it like this. I'll make my Zeros the lead, I'll take out one of the Lucians, make it a single Lucian and a Zeros, and then use Frigate Megan just like usual. Hopefully, my Zeros will go before Lucian, so hopefully his increased cooldown lands. Yep, there's no immunity, so I should be okay. Obviously, it might be resisted, but I don't see a lot of resistance on Pasamas usually, like some, but it's not one of the main stats you want to aim for. Right, increase cooldown, knock him down, walk right through, go to the next. Like this is an easy farm team, but I will admit this requires some monsters. This is not a free-to-play team at all. And I'm sorry, but unfortunately I have to say, more or less... You guys stop it. Or go in another room. Good lord, my dog's going to be in the video again. Stop it. Shoo. Shoo fly. Stop. Alright, I might have to end this video just to get them to shush and go in another room. Hey, go play in the other room. Go. Go on. Out. Out. Jack. Get up here and lay down. There. Stop causing trouble. They just want to play, which I'm fine with, but it's like, why do you have to play while I'm trying to do a video? Why can't you play before the video or after the video? Yeah, I mean, come on, But basically, you've got to learn, like, that's one of the number one things. You've got to learn when to use your team. No, I already said that. On to the next thing. In my opinion, Arena is mostly not for free-to-play teams. There are some free-to-play teams that you can make, but I have not seen pretty much any defenses in C1 or really high F3 that don't have at least a single Nat 5. Or a good light dark 4-star and above. I mean, I know that kind of sucks to hear, but I think that just is the way it is. I have had a really hard time setting up a really good free-to-play team. Like, here are the 5 teams that I made, and not just me. A couple of these were given to me. Like this one was a couple of guildmates helped me throw this together. It's just because these four monsters combined have a very good unique set of skills, and you can usually let them just auto whatever you want to fight. Obviously, they'd win this one because it's a level, it's a 4 star, so it's not like it's a real problem. But I hate to say it, but Bernard and Megan make for a good start of a 4 star team, of a free to play team, not a 4 star team, a free to play team, right? So Megan, and then Bernard, and outside of those two monsters, it's kind of tough to say here are your free to play monsters you should use because there just aren't a lot of great ones. Now, there are a few that are good, that work, kinda, at least kinda. Here's one, Sig. Sig can do an AoE damage that's very high and can stun all of your enemies, freeze them. So that comes in very handy. Now you've got a good strong damage and a good CC monster. And then from there, you either want to add another AoE CC like Lucian, or try to find a single target nuker. Here is one that is a free to play monster technically, but you're gonna have a hard time getting him. Not a hard time, but like, mine's half skilled because I was so angry. I did a KB5 team right before they made all the big changes. I was so angry. I spent like 3 weeks and put all my resources for 3 weeks into making a freaking Katarina and a Belager. And then what they do like a week after I got my teams ready and I got really good KB runs, like a week later they were like, "Oh yeah, we're making R5 super easy now. Your KB5 team is garbage." I was so angry. I honestly, like, I was happy that they made it easier for everybody, and now I run a triple damage team that is not hard at all. But, you know what I mean? Like, but anyway, I'll show you this team. At least this is a free-to-play team that you can farm, you can skill up by farming a few devils for Belager, which he doesn't need, but obviously will help him. Same thing with Sig. I would devil Sig first. So your Bernard's going to go first. My Bernard's not incredibly fast, but he's fast enough to do this. And then you want your Megan to go before the other two for two reasons. One, you want to get your Belager as many stacks as you can, right? He's only got 4, but since there's only one enemy, I'm going to go ahead and use his Start of Apocalypse. He would crush a bunch of bunchers, do a good amount of damage to everybody, and if you got him to that 5 stack, he would do a good combo of damage reduction as well. Here's where it starts to become a problem. This enemy has a Tiana and a huge health-based monster, Rydish. Unless you have a heal block, this team is going to have a hard time killing Rydish. Tiana's probably going to get first turn because my Bernard's not that fast. Unfortunately. I mean, like, yeah, look at my Bernard. It's what was it, like, plus 118 or something? Yeah, it's plus 118. Not exactly a priority monster for me. I started making this guy, but then I drew Frigate, and I was like, I guess it's pointless to make him now? I use him in a little bit of Siege, but that's it, barely. So he doesn't have... He's got, like, my 12th best set of Swift runes, probably. I don't even know. I just don't care about him that much, to be honest. So, what are you gonna do? But he's a good free-to-play booster. You can find... He's a 2-star. You'll find him in the wild, so... and I think you might even be able to farm him in a specific scenario. But either way, you'll find him from at least unknown scrolls. Just keep one until you have a better booster, like a Bastet or a Frigate or something like that. So I would definitely keep one when you find him. You can also use him in GB10 early on, so he's really good for that too. His whole kit works really well for that. And also something about his S3 that's different from a lot of other monsters, most boosters included. Not only does it do a bit of an attack bar boost, 30%, which is kind of average, it's kind of good, but also it increases their attack speed for 2 turns. That can come in really, really handy in certain situations. For instance, if you're not trying to do a 1-turn team, if you're trying to do a several-turn team, then he can give that attack speed buff, which helps them over the next several turns to get more turns than usual, to get first turn faster, to get first turn on wave 2. And I think that's what people usually mean when they say a cleave team is a second turn team that would, wipe everything out on the second turn and not necessarily the first. I do not have really good cleave teams like that or anything, so I can't really show you a good setup like that, but this is basically what I can do. And like I said, really unfortunately, I think that Arena just mostly is for. I was making sure that wasn't the same as that girl from earlier because she crushed us. It's just really not for free to play teams. And I hate to say that. And I want to prove that wrong someday. Don't get me wrong. I do. I want it to be wrong and I want to prove it wrong. I want to find you teams that'll be 3-star teams and 2-star teams full of 2 and 3-star monsters that will allow you to just walk right through enemies when you build them right, when you get them great runes. But in my experience, there's not a lot of great free-to-play teams. And like I said, I hate to say that, but it just kind of is. You know, even if Jan can be pulled up, right? Or Lauren, who's really strong right now and is used a lot in RTA. I don't think she'll be getting a nerf anytime soon either. And if she does, it'll be a minimal nerf in my opinion. But it's really hard to pick up free-to-play teams. This is what I would suggest, if nothing else. Try to use one of the support monsters from the Homus, or one of the fire Homu who does a lot of damage, or water who can do a huge AoE, you know, to put them on despair and does big AoE stuns, or put them on Vio and they get to use that S3 over and over. I mean, I don't know exactly what's best. It's sort of what's best about your team, right? You've got to build teams, not monsters. That's really a big thing. And a lot of people don't talk about that, but it's about building teams, not monsters, right? Like, I didn't look at my Lauren and just go, okay, Lauren's got some blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. I'll throw her into a team. No, I looked at this team and I said, okay, 4 monsters that will synergize together and work really well against this specific team, right? And that's part of the reason I pulled up Defense Homu, because she could cooldown reduce all the enemy teams, right? Everybody on the enemy team. And then I've got him because he will help make all of the team go fast, which will help him get his S3 off, which will cut off all their team. And then you can use Lauren to hopefully control the Kumar or control the Chloe. I suggest the Kumar or the Tyron. Tyron really is probably your first idea. And then Megan to help protect the team, right? So it's not about individuals. It's about a synergized team that goes together. That's how come this team works, right? Because I said, what are the weaknesses of Lucian? Okay, he needs an attack boost to really do a lot of damage. He also needs an attack power lead to do a lot of damage. Bam, Megan fills both those. Okay, well now we need more attack bar boosts to help him get first turn. Bam, frigate. Right? Like you've got to think about a team comp and not just a super monster, right? Like, okay, here's a really good example. I think that my Kamun is a pretty good Kamun, right? Like, he's a little low on the crit damage because I haven't been able to find him a really good 4-slot crit damage rune. So, you know, yeah, he's not perfect, but he's got 31,000 HP, a decent speed considering he's on, like, HP, yeah, double HP and crit damage rune, and then high crit rate, and an okay crit damage. His S2 can do, like, 20k damage, right? But if I just put him with monsters that don't synergize with him, that don't help him, right? They don't work with each other. It's just whoever gets something gets something. There, okay, wind attribute, HP plus. I doubt this team wins. If they do, it's more luck than it is anything else, because this is not a synergized team that has things that really help each other. Oop, don't look at that. Okay, good, that faded away. I've got to take my my trademarked drink of Monster, so give me just a second. Ah, that's good stuff, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's worth the kidney stones. Woo! I like it. So, Bastet did his job and gave everybody a first turn. Okay, that's cool and all. But remember, there's no synergy in this team, so let's just smack some people around. Ooh, we actually got lucky there. That Chloe derped and did not just protect the whole team. Alright, let's do some damage. Whee! Damage! Yay, that hurt everybody quite a bit. Oh, there we go. There's the thing. Okay, let's do some more damage. Yay! Let's try to hit people and turn into a statue. He couldn't taunt them because they were all immunity. Which, you know, they're all immunity because I don't have any synergy, so I don't have anyone there to try to, you know, cleanse the immunity, or not cleanse, remove remove the immunity. Oh, look, they're all silenced, and I don't have anything to stop that because I didn't add anything, because I didn't, you know, we weren't paying attention to that sort of thing. Oh! He's on revenge, so, you know. He's on revenge, by the way, because I think that's the best way to build him, because what you want from him is to get all 5 stacks of his S1 as fast as possible, but you've also got to get him to use his S2. If he doesn't use his S2, then he's going to have a hard time in life. So, you know, that's basically that. Oh, wow. Right as his S2 comes up, does it taunt? It does still taunt, right? This is the one that provokes? Yeah, okay, we're not going to use it then. We'll wait until the immunity's cleansed off naturally, and then who knows, maybe we'll get it. I mean, Kamun's giving a shield to people. It was enough to save... Oh, never mind. See how this team has absolutely no synergy, and that's why they're losing. This is why they will lose. Because it has no synergy. They didn't work to protect each other, to help each other, to better each other. They were all just 4 individual, decently built monsters. Against like a fighter team. This is Fighter 1. Remember, I'm competing for C1 every weekend. I missed C1 this last Sunday by 20 seconds. In the last 20 seconds. Literally, I had guildmates like spam checking my thing, and I was holding C1 with 22 points. It meant that I had to lose twice in the last 30 seconds to lose the thing. And I even went into a revenge match in the last minute to win and won, so I got a few more points from that. But in the last 20 seconds, I was hit twice, and both times they won, which knocked me right back into fighter by like a point. And I literally had guildmates like spam checking my thing going, we're there, you're good. And then 10, 20 seconds before the marker, you know, before it was too late, they go, no! Because I'd been double revenge it. I mean, like, that's where I'm fighting for C1. That's where my strength is, my arena team strength is. That's where my monsters are. But if I throw a team that has no synergy up against a team, they lose. They will lose. This will happen again. That's not a fluke. That what just happened was not a fluke. That team will lose. So, this is what I'm going to show you. This is my best way of trying to make this a little more obvious. We're going to try to make a team built around Malite, right? My Malite is not crazy strong. It's pretty good. It's very slow, which is a problem. His runes aren't all maxed out, right? Like his defense runes need to be maxed. Even this one needs to be maxed. His defense is what largely grades what... remember, S1 runes can't have defense percent, so I just want a huge HP percent and some speed, crit rate, and crit damage, and a little accuracy. Like, huge hit points is what I was going for, because as you can see from his low HP pool, his base HP is kind of low, but more importantly, I didn't go for many HP subs. I went for large defense percent subs and, you know, speed, trying to get him that good crit rate, stuff like that. Also, I wanted him to have a bit of resistance. That's why that 20's right there. He's not perfect. Like I said, this is not a greatly built monster. This is a, We're kind of there. We're going to do for this eventually, kind of thing. I am going to put him on defense crit damage defense eventually, but I've got to get the runes for that before I start going down that path. So right now he is where he is, huge defense monster, and our whole goal, remember, is to try to get him to taunt people and while turning into a statue, so they hit him, he revenges them, and then he builds his S1 super fast, and then his damage will go up really high. Also, all his stuff's built on defense percent, so we're gonna go with Bastet instead of Frigate. Why? Another reason is because it's not super important that he gets first turn. It is sort of important that he gets first turn, but he's not super important. So, another thing, what was our problem a minute ago? Chloe was giving invincibility to everybody. Great, let's bring Praha. Bam. My Praha is not super fast, right? She's plus 108. The whole intention is to get second turn. I want her to get outsped by Chloe and then go right after that, which may or may not happen. We'll just have to see. My Bastet's a little slower than my Frigate by like 15 points, so I'm hoping this will work good. Tyron will give Chloe the first turn, and then hopefully Bastet will go, and if Bastet goes, I can most likely get Praha to cleanse off everything, and then Malite gets a turn, and we're golden at that point. So now we just get another monster. What do we got? We've got a big healer. We've got really good taunt on him. We've got a good Bastet who's nice and strong. What are we missing? Healer, 1 damage. We're missing damage. Let's add some more damage. So now we've got 2 options. We can either add a damage that's an element that they will attack. So another wind monster, right? Because Kumar is going to be the big damage threat Tyron is just going to use his AoE stuff, so it's going to hit anyway. But Kumar is going to be our big damage threat, and some of his will be AoE, but a lot of it will be smash the enemy. So we don't want him to get that. Also, because I'm afraid it might be able to remove Malite's S2. We'll know for sure in a minute, because when we get into the thing, I'll be able to see if it's if it's a thing or not. So let's grab a wind monster who has either CC. Nope, not my harass. Or has a good HP pool. Yeah, maybe I'll take Diana. Huh. Ooh, is my... oh, he's not built. Some of my monsters aren't exactly built. So, yeah, let's do this. Yeah, look at this. Super CC, super protection, big heals. This will be fun if nothing else. This is going to be the last team I show. This has been a really long video for me. I usually don't make videos anywhere near this long, but I felt like I had to for PvP. So hopefully you guys like, and I don't know. So the timing's a little off on this team because this is not a prepped team. This is for monsters that I was trying to make a team. So I know right away now, if I was going to make this a real team, I would have to make either my Praha faster, or I would have to make this my Hathor slower. Hathor's not getting made slower because I'm trying to use Hathor in RTA, where she needs to be very fast. So I would need to speed up my Praha. So let's just go ahead and try to make the best of it. Okay, failed, and that's not a big deal because she's really there for her S3 instead of her S2. Now we're going to try and wipe everything off the board. Bam. Okay, we got everybody but Chloe. That's good enough. Cleanse unit is what we should bring. Okay, instead of Hathor, we're going to bring somebody who can cleanse. That's what will really help us in this team. See, this is what you have to do if you want to develop a team, by the way. You have to do it and go, oh, okay, this messed up, I got to do that. So now we know what we need to do. We'll try to win anyway, but it's going to be tough. It might be a little bit of a tough match because of that silence everybody just got. Hathor might be able to go ahead, and if she can sleep a few key okay, great. Okay, we should be okay. We're gonna go ahead and try and kill Tyron. It means we have to awaken him, sadly, but he's not a huge threat. We can just handle him 1v1. I'm gonna go ahead and daydream just because, yeah, because I was hoping to put Tyron back to sleep. Oh, what the heck? Hey, look, guys, I think that's a visual bug. I don't know, let's hit him and find out. I don't know, did that look like he was awake to you guys? I don't know. Alright, we've got to awaken somebody. And I don't want to do Kumar. Why? Because, like I said, he's their damage threat. So I want to go ahead and focus and build his Stone Claws. Right? We're gaining his S1. Now he has +2. So we're going to focus Vero. Why? Because Vero will ruin our CC. He can cleanse the CC off all of them, and we don't want that. Here we go. More protection, little attack boost, attack bar boost, and attack, a thing boost. Alright, we're not going to use the S2 because we're going to save it for when Chloe goes, probably like right now. We are going to hit this one. Okay. Her S1 does an attack damage reduction if it lands. There we go. That's what we were waiting for. Bam! Who'd we cleanse? Ooh, we only got Kumar. Okay, so we're going to go try and sleep him. Okay, we got the sleep off. That's nice. Now, 2 of them have their immunity stripped. So we're going to go ahead and try to use Malite's S2, and hopefully... Alright, we got a double provoke. That's great. Alright. Now we know for sure Malite's his stone statue thing, it can't be cleansed. That's part of his passive. The reason I was saying I needed to see is because I needed to see if it gave him a buff for that or not. It doesn't give him a buff for that. It just does it. And the only reason I questioned is because it said it gave him immunity, so I wanted to make sure, and now I know for sure. So now we're just going to go ahead and start whittling Vero down shot by shot. This might not necessarily be the fastest way to go, but it's a good safe way. I really want to get rid of him. That way I can use Malite's taunt really well. Bam. Alright, Stoneclaw's S3, or +3. We're getting a little closer. +5 will have doubled his defense. So if we can get him to +5, we're golden. Yeah, I don't want to lose Hathor just because, so I'm going to go ahead and pop that. Also, because of her new thing, it sleeps all your enemies. So let's try to go ahead and... Chloe's the one we want to sleep. Yeah, and we got the attack bar decrease. Perfect. Alright, let's go ahead and this. We're going to wake up Vero because he's the one we want to kill right now. Just go ahead and keep popping on Vero. Hopefully we can knock him out right here. All right. So now we have to wake up one of them. I choose Kumar. I'm less worried about Chloe's immunity or her thing and, everything else she can do. So we're just going to go ahead and try and kill Kumar. The problem is our only damage here is wind, and they're both fire. Like, that's something I knew coming in, but I chose to go ahead and do this anyway because I really wanted to make a team around Malite to just show you, like, this is how you make a synergistic team, right? You look and you say, okay, what would work together for them? What do I need to do to make them work in synergy and not just work, right? All right, so that one got a taunt, Kumar. Bang, yeah, that's best case scenario right there. He got a taunt, so probably when he attacks right here, the dots. Oof. Oh, I think he got a Vio proc. Maybe? Is that what it does? I think he got a Vio proc. I don't know. Yeah, I think he Vio proc'd and the dots killed him. That has to be what it is. So now we just attack down Chloe one by one. Just, pop her. She's got no real damage, so she's not an actual threat. This is just going to be a, she's sort of annoying, so she might take a minute to kill kind of thing. That's basically it. Oh, I should have used her S2. As you can see, he's actually doing decent damage now. And he doesn't even have a damage build. He's full defense build. But you can see his damage was like 4,800 on a fire monster. So this is the best I can do to show you this is how you build a team. You build a team, not a monster, right? You don't take 4 big monsters and throw them together. You build a team. So for this team, what I would do, I'm only doing that because I want to show you what I would change out. So we experimented with this team and we found the lack, or where it lacked. Where it lacked in that case was Hathor really wasn't doing a whole lot. Part of the reason was because Praha's S3 now has a chance to sleep all her enemies. And it says 50%, but I'm pretty sure it's like 70 when it's oh yeah, 50. I think it's like 70 with the thing. Maybe it's higher than that, actually. Let's go take a look, because that's actually important. If Praha's percent chance is really high, then we may go ahead, and then we will drop the 4th monster. Hathor. Good lord, I couldn't think of her name. But if it's low, then we may keep Hathor. Oh wow, it stays 50. Okay, so it's only 50% chance. Dang. So it's, yeah, I mean, we want to keep some sort of CC there. It's a slow team, but I feel like that team would have a very high win rate. Honestly, I do. This is here we go. This would not work for this team. Why? Because Garo all by himself, almost no one on this team has multi-hit. I mean, Praha does, and Bastet do, but like, they're not damage monsters. These two would have to get super lucky to get the last hit, and hers is only with her S2. Like, so we wouldn't want to use this against them. However, this is a team that I'm going to go ahead and save because Malite's cool, so why not? I'm going to dump this team right here. Get rid of these guys. Okay, Bastet, Malite. I'm actually going to build XF for this. Actually. Drop her. XF. Bastet. And then I don't think I need the CC so much, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to pull my Belager, who I'm not really using anymore, and I'm going to try to put him in the team. If I can find that guy. Where the crap did he go? Ah, there he is. Okay. Save. Yes. Bam. And the reason I made XF, or I'm going to build XF, I don't use him anymore for anything, but I'm going to build him specifically for this team for 2 reasons. One, he'll give everybody a revenge hit, if I remember right. Let's double check before we start talking. Okay, removes the harmful effects casted on yourself, and counterattacks for 2 turns when attacked, so that's him. And then recovers the HP of all allies in each turn for the next 2 turns. So he'll cleanse himself. He'll give himself Revenge Strike, and then he'll put a hot on everybody, right? So that's my healer now. And I will swing in Praha for him when I need, and what I'll do is I'll make Bastet the defense lead for that. Actually, in the thing, I'll go ahead and make... this is just for easier switches. But you want to put Bastet, in this case, as the lead instead of XF, Because if I plan to switch out XF, it's easier this way so that I can just dump him and then add Praha, you know, bam, and then done. Because otherwise I'd have to like switch them and then add Praha, you know. So it's just for ease. This is what you want to do. Oops, wrong team. So the only reason this team would kind of work with Beleaguer is because you have two monsters now that offer group AoE buffs to your team. Now, it would still be pretty slow growing his thing, so I'm actually going to dump him, and I'm going to add in my Odin. Because my Odin... You know what? I might add in Diana. This is what I'm saying. You've got to just see what's going to work with this team. What's really going to make this team flourish. And in this case, I think a good water monster is against who we're against. You'd want a good water monster. So let's pick up good water monster with multi-hit. Alright, let's stay up here then. I mean, Ager's good, but his multi-hit is not like a lot of multi-hit. He's only got the S3 that hits twice. So I don't want to use him. My Lapis is not really made for this right now. Actually, she might be okay. How fast is she? Ooh, she's really slow. Now, she's too slow to take into PvP. I was using her to fame and farm. Trying to see if I could get her fast without having to put a ton of runes on her. I was not successful. Oof, this is tough, actually. Let's go ahead and add her. She's not a great damage dealer, but, you know, who knows. And I can't use XF right now because he's not ruined, so let's just add in some CC. What this team right now, what was missing before the Virad ad was CC. Since I'm using a team where I want Malite to do a lot, unfortunately that means the enemies have to get some attacks in on him. That will work especially well if you have fire enemies, because they will just automatically attack him even if he doesn't taunt. Now, in the beginning, they're going to do a lot of damage to him, even though he's high defense, because he's high defense, but they're high damage. I mean, that's just how it is. So, in the beginning, you really want that shield on him. Yeah, I'm going to... Oh, I should have used the other one. Whoopsies. Mistakes were made. Alright, now we're going to try and cleanse everybody so we can start screwing up some damage. There we go. Alright, well, we got one cleanse, which is good, because if we can just get rid of him, that would be really good. Like, yeah, he's oh, defense break. That is not what you want. Alright, now we know defense break is a problem. I can bring a cleanser next time. Yeah, I doubt we're going to win this. So, if we kill one of them and keep Malite alive, oh, no, he can't. I don't even have a healer now. Alright, so let's go back out, drop Virad, and add a cleanser. I'm going to drop her and add Praha, too. Alright, let's drop both of them. Add Praha to get rid of those buffs. Whoop. Good. And now, let's get a cleanser. I'm thinking... Nah, I was thinking Fran, but I don't want to do Fran. I mean, Yang would probably be really good, but I don't have her ruined right now. Alright, it doesn't have to be water, so let's see what else we got in the cleanser department. And, of course, my Raccooni's not built either. Probably be good if I go and finish building some of these frickin' monsters. Well, Hathor might work just because she'll get first turn, most likely. Well, I don't know if she's... Well, oof. Screw it, let's find out. I mean, even if she doesn't get first turn, and even though Praha and her are speed non-synergized, we might be able to go ahead and do this anyway. If not, I'm cutting the video anyway, because this is... I'm just trying to show some more example of what you've got to do if you really want to make a team work. You've got to really focus on the team comp, not the individual monsters, right? Like, how does this team... What's its weakness? Okay, great. What do I need to do to make it stronger? Okay, great. What do I need to do to stop the enemy from doing this? What side monsters do I need to keep in mind? All of those things have to be considered. So, we didn't bring a cleanser, but bam, we got the taunt, which is good. That'll give us time to handle this this Garo. We really want to get rid of him. Good thing is... Oh, the taunt's gone, isn't it? Yep, the taunt was... Alright, well, crap. Yeah, we can't use this because they're... Oh, man. Oh, that's nasty, too. He put a... put his stupid thing on it. We've got to cleanse that off. Good thing Pra should get a turn soon. That's good. That's fine. Ah, stop stunning him. He can't do revenge hits if you're stunned. Dang it. Alright, let's get rid of all that crap. There we go. Dots on Garo are great, by the way, because they will go through his like defense or his passive thing. Not so much they kind of go through it. It's sort of a bad explanation, but basically they will act like what's a good way to put it? If the dots, see, I was worried it was going to get cleansed off. If the dots would have killed him, it doesn't do his thing where it's like, oh no, dots don't kill you. You get another turn. That's only attacks. If you attack him, it does that. But it's not an attack. It's a dot, so it doesn't do that. So, bam. Okay, narrow escape. Let's see if I can get anyone to get an... Of course, and he throws that stupid thing on it. We got to get rid of that stupid... There we go. Ah, we didn't get a turn. We've got to... Here we go. This might be enough. Let's find out. Finally. If we get rid of him without losing any monsters, maybe we can turn this around. Okay, Hathor's gone, which is not good. Let's start getting rid of this jerk. Stop with the damage. Okay, good. Wow, we only got one taunt. Okay. We've got to get... Oh, I shouldn't have taunted. That was a bad move. He had defense break, so I should have just let the defense break wear off. Oh, this is going to be tough. I'm not going to lie. I'm not sure we can win this from here. I hate to go out on a loss, but I'm definitely ending it after this fight one way or the other. If we lose, too bad. Oh, crap. Hopefully this sleeps them. Alright, well that's good. She's massive, so getting a sleep on her is good. Yeah, I knew the dots were going to kill him, so... Now we've got to kill... I wanted to kill her first, but Veligil's the one who got defense broken. And for this low damage team, we're going to have to kill Veligil first. Since he's the one who got defense broken. Oof, this is rough. Oof, that didn't hit anybody. That is not cool. Alright, this is going to be basically a one-on-one in a second. Okay, good. This is good. It's good. We got a good shield on everybody. And it's gone. And she gets a turn. Defense break. Oof, 3 glances. That's rough. Probably going to kill the team. Oh, wow, they both lived. Oh, never mind. Oh, it did come down to the wire, though, so that's something right there. Oh, well, you know, I'm going out on a loss. It sucks, but I am so done with this video. I am so over regular arena right now. I have done a ton of it. A ton and a ton and a ton. It's been, I'm so done with it. So, I will wait a few days before I do another video like this. Probably next weekend, I'll do like another team. Maybe I'll make this Malite team like really good, and then try to do a good showing with him with that team. I don't know, but we'll just have to see. That is it. I'm uploading this right now. Please forgive the fact that I don't have an intro or an outro yet. Honestly, I don't have the money to buy the software. There's some software that I've found. Someone helped me find. Another YouTuber, actually, his name's Nicky at Night. He's a cool guy. I haven't seen many of his videos yet because he just got kind of started recently, but he's a cool guy in game. And he helped me find this software that will allow me to very, very easily add an intro to my videos, but it will do it with a water stamp right now, and I'm not willing to do that because I can't pay for the thing. So as soon as I can pay for the thing, get the water stamp off, I'll start having an intro. I've already made one. I've just got to, piece them together, and I'm not willing to go learn how to do it with, like, real software, real editing classes or anything. I'm not willing. So, if any of you are editors and would like to, video editors and would like to do some editing, obviously I can't pay you because this channel isn't making any money. But if this channel does get to the point where it makes money, we can make a contract where you get a part of it. I don't know what they usually give editors these days, but... we can make it a thing. You get some, I get some, we call it a day. I'm not as worried about the money part of it, really. Like, that would be nice and all, but I'm really a lot more about, this is fun for me. I love playing this game. This is an amazing game to me. I don't love how much it costs to to like $100 goes nowhere in this game. Get you very, very little. $100 in most games, and you're like, wow, I'm almost a king now. Like this game, you're like, well, I'm still a pauper. What's going on? It's sad, but that's the way it is. That's why this game, in my opinion, is not worth putting a lot of money in. But I'm not one of those shamers who's like, don't ever spend money. Nah, do what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy, as long as it doesn't, really impede your life goals. So hey, it's a game. Have fun. If spending money makes you have more fun, and that's what you want to do, you do you. I spend a little bit of money. I spend a lot less now than I did in the beginning, but I try to buy devil packs when they come around, except for this one because it's freaking $100. But what are you gonna do? But that's it. If anything you take from this video, I would say take this advice. You want to build teams, not champions, especially for PvP. So you can build champions, for instance, Bulldozer, right? Dozer. Most people build him 100% crit rate. But if you're going to use him with that water dude who's no one can say his name, Kubahaba, that guy, then you don't have to make him 100% crit rate. Why? Because Kebi will give him a crit rate buff of 30%. So you could make him 70% crit rate and then get more crit damage and more defense percent. And then as long as you have Kebi alive and on the team, and he uses his buff on, and it also makes him invincible for a turn, so he almost for sure gets a turn, right? A lot of people use Immensity, and I totally get why. Instead of giving a crit rate buff, he gives he gives it a turn, like right away. He fills up their attack bar. There he is. So it's basically he does defense and crit rate anyways, and then fills up the attack bar. So he's also a really good. So you don't need to go 100% crit rate if you're going to use either of these monsters in that team, as long as they're targeting him with the attack bar increase. Then you also don't have to worry about speed. Speed you do want to have a bit anyway, because this is reusable every 4 turns after skill ups, so it's not exactly a every turn thing. So you do want some speed anyway, but you only have to do 70% crit rate because of these buffs, if you're going to use him in that team, right? So that's really what you've got to do. Make teams, not champions. Whew! Alright, that horse is dead, this horse is dead, I'm dead tired, so we're calling it a night. I'm quitting and going to bed. Nah, it's just I got a whole bunch of other stuff to do, and it's not nearly bedtime, but I'm quitting, I'm done, I'm great. It was a great video, guys. I actually had a bit of fun. Hopefully you guys learned something and enjoy the video. If you enjoy the video, please share it. I know 140 has helped me immensely create this channel. I would really like to have a lot more subs. I'm really trying to work towards growing this channel into a real thing. I know that maybe I'm a bit amateurish right now, and hopefully everybody can kind of respect that just is what it is, but I do plan to try to make this a real channel, thousands of subs, where I can help people, I can give advice to people, I can teach people the little I know, especially early game. I know a lot about early game. It's when we're talking about this late game stuff like PvP, I start to become not so knowledgeable. I just showed you kind of how my brain works in that area, more than how I didn't want to show you too many of my specific teams I've already built, because that doesn't teach you the process, that just shows you a nice team. It's more important for you to learn how to fish than for me to give you fish. So hopefully that's what I've done, and you guys can enjoy it. And if you did enjoy it, share, like, subscribe if you're not already. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great weekend, because it's coming up on the weekend for me. And that's it. I'm out. Whew, we're done. I'm okay.